Hello, my name is Susan Brenner, and I will be doing a 30-minute restorative. And this class is really just for anyone. It doesn't matter what level of yoga you're experienced in. And this is just more of a time for us to really just to be mindful and to really do some self-care. There might be some planes flying over above, so I'm going to try to speak as loudly as I can. So let's just start with kind of getting comfortable within a seated position. And I always want to kind of set an intention for the class. And Ganesha, which is a god, which represents removing obstacles. And another representation that I love is a spirit animal, which is roseate spoonbill. And the way that their bill is designed and the way that they look for food is they're swiping back and forth. So moving obstacles out of the way in order to find the food that they need and get rid of what isn't needed. And one thing I want everyone to kind of think about when they're setting their intention for this session is, what obstacles are in your way? What needs to be kind of maybe moved to the side so you can move forward? So let's just take a minute and we'll do some breathing exercises while you think about your intention and what that might be for you, that you can kind of meditate on while we're doing the session. And there's a neurologist I follow, and his name is Huberman. It's Huberman Labs, if you want to follow something like that on Instagram. Not that I'm promoting him, but he has a whole lab that just works on breath work. And one technique that he uses is, and they've done analyzation of the brain too for the results, which is a reduction in stress and calming of the body. And what it is simply just breathing in twice through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. So it's, the way I kind of look at it too is inhale from your abdomen up to your chest is one breath, and then breathe in again from like your throat and mouth area up to the top of your head. And then you're to release through your mouth. So let me just show you an example, and then we'll do it a couple times together. So let's breathe in, and again, and then release. So let's do that 2 times together. And let's begin with breathing in, again, in through the nose, again, in through the nose, to the top of the head, and release through the mouth. Let's do that one more time. And release. And studies from his labs have shown that you only need to do this 2 or 3 times to actually feel a change in your state of being. So if you're at a board meeting or you're at a pressured situation, this is something you can easily do for yourself to kind of rebalance, reground yourself, okay? So let's just get started by just kind of allowing ourselves to just kind of warm up a little bit. And again, we're in our seated position. And let's just put our hands on our knees and let's just start rotating forward. And we're just going to do some big circles. And within this practice, we would just move slowly. And probably even more slowly than what maybe you normally move. And for myself, I'm pretty rapid. So this is one reason why I picked this type of a class, because it's a good practice for me. And let's turn the other way. To slow it down. It's a good way just to have some self-care. And within my own practice of being a psychotherapist, these are going to be more of the type of yoga instruction I'm going to be focusing on. And then let's go back to center. Now let's go ahead and let's arch our back and forward, going backwards, sorry. And back to center. And again. Kind of curving that back, and then back to center. And then let's reach our arms up to the sky as high as you can, and then let's twist to the right side. And again, your gaze will be over your right shoulder, and let's just hold this for a couple seconds. And if you're able to now, to even maybe twist a little bit further. And back to center. Let's do another curve again. And back up. Reaching high to the sky. And now let's twist to our left. And again, with a gaze of the left shoulder. Again, see if we can twist a little bit further. Another into this position. And then back to center. So our next position that we're going to do, we'll utilize a couple props. And the props I have here today are blocks, a strap, and a bolster. If you don't have these, we can improvise along with that. And some people don't even like using the bolster in the one position I'm going to have us into, just depending on their lower back. So we're going to position ourselves onto our mat and put our bolsters right behind us. So that's probably a good position for you guys to see. So we'll get right there. And then we're going to take our blocks. And again, this is something if you'd like to. And we're going to put our feet into the butterfly pose. So the soles of your feet will be together. And before we kind of get into that, so what we want to do then, again, is a bolster goes against your back, and then you're going to lay back into the bolster. I like raising my hands up so that I'm kind of getting centered, and then bringing my arms down. And again, depending on where you would like the blocks, whether you like them further up for your legs or further down, just depending on what's comfortable for you. And again, our feet our soles are together in the butterfly position. And again, we're laying back onto the bolster. And then we're going to spread our arms out. I'm going to hit my phone right here just for the fact that we're going to time this. And this will be for 3 minutes. So just bring your arms down and just relax into that. Opening up the chest. Having our palms open to the sky, receiving. Allowing your legs just to lay out. And just be here with your thoughts, your intention, noticing sounds, noticing what your body feels like. Remember you're breathing, nice even breaths. Not that you need to completely control it. The awareness, consistency. Take care of our bodies today. We're going to try to move slow and hold the poses for a long time. Shoulder issues, I can keep my mind close to your body. About another 30 seconds here. wants to slowly move out of this position. Placing your props to the side. And now we're going to take and extend our right leg out and pulling the left leg into the growing area. And what we want to do is lift our arms up and just bend over that leg. Now, depending on your own ability to bend over the leg, it might be more the calf or the knee, or this might be a good time just to even utilize a strap, depending on where you're at. And once we kind of lean into this, we'll check in again and you'll see if you can go a little bit more into that pose. And if you're really able to bend all the way over, which I'm not, you can lay your arms down or even lay your chest into your leg. Relax your head. Just noticing the muscles being stretched, observing that. Feeling how good that feels. And taking another nice deep breath. And see if you can't come down just a little bit further. Just see if you can get a little bit closer to your leg. And again, nothing that should be strainful or harmful. Just something that feels like a good, nourishing stretch. Let's do 3 more breaths here. So you come back up, reaching to the sky. And let's transition to the other side. So I'm just going to move over to the other side so I can stay facing the camera. And again, we're tucking that our opposite leg in to our right and extending our left leg. And again, reaching high to the sky and bending over our leg. And again, using whatever props you might need or whatever your ability is as far as being able to lay over your legs. And again, relaxing the neck and just observing the feeling of the leg. Paying attention and being thoughtful about your breathing. You may want to shut your eyes during this. Again, that's just an option. And seeing if you can't go down just a little bit lower. And let's do 3 more breaths here. Okay, and rise on up, reach, reach, reach. And now let's extend both legs, okay? Again, reaching to the sky and leaning forward over our legs. Dropping the head, relaxing the neck. And again, whatever's comfortable for you. Some might want to go down, on the sides of the leg, whatever's comfortable, or utilizing your strap. I like kind of bending my toes because I get like a little extra stretch in there. Let's take a couple breaths here. And maybe you can try to move a little bit deeper into that stretch, if that feels comfortable for you. And again, reaching up bring our arms to our sides. And now let's go back into the kind of position that we were in when we were doing the bolster, with our legs in more of the butterfly position, which can be referred to also as the bound angle. And so in this, we're going to move your heels as close to your pelvis area as you can, where that feels comfortable. Then you're going to be moving your elbows in, your hands will be clasped around your feet, and you're just going to start leaning forward. And so where you kind of feel that edge, pause right there, and we're just going to hold. A couple breaths here. Make sure your shoulders are not by your ears. I know I have that habit myself. But it's about awareness. Observing that and making those needed adjustments. And again, shutting the eyes might be something desirable for you, just to get more into the pose and more in tune with your body. Let's do 3 more breaths here. Good. So let's pull out that, and let's go into the cat-cow, or on table position with all fours. Kind of just get your footing there. And we're just going to kind of go through the pattern of, inhale, exhale. Go to your own little rhythm here. So I'm just gonna have this time for a little bit. And if, you wanna kind of go to each hip, kind of whatever your body kind of needs right now, okay? And the breathing. Let's transition into, so standing here and the tabletop, now we're going to extend our right arm and our left leg and hold. Gaze could be forward or straight down in front of you. Whatever is best for you and your balance. And let's move that back in, elbow to knee, and extend it again. And go back to tabletop. Let's do one more round of cat-cow. And let's extend the left arm and the right leg. Again, gaze forward or right in front of you, whatever is best for you to hold your balance. And in with elbow to knee, and extend. And back to tabletop. And now let's sink down into our extended child's pose, reaching the arms forward, fingers spread, forehead to the mat, and feeling that stretch through the back. Trying to press your buttocks down to your heels. Toes are touching, big toes are touching. Heels are spread. Again, fingers spread. Make this an active position. And let's do 4 breaths here. And let's move over onto our backs. And again, I'm just watching the timer, not text messages. And what we're gonna do here is we're going to lay back on our backs. And we're gonna start with our right leg over our left. And you can intertwine your fingers behind the thigh, under the knee, below the knee. And we're just gonna hold this position. I like to also use my elbow to kind of press against this thigh to hold it in position to be able to feel the full stretch. And let's do a couple breaths here. And again, like I said, the option to close your eyes. It's something I like just to do because it helps me focus more in on the stretch and the awareness of what my body feels like. Keeping the feet flat. And again, breathing. Let's do 2 more breaths here. And let's put our left leg back to the floor. And then we're gonna take our right leg and just let it fall to the ground. And then we're gonna allow our right arm to go into cactus position. And then your left hand comes following your leg. And your gaze is gonna be to your right. And we're gonna do 4 breaths here. Slowly move back to center. And let's go ahead and put both our feet to the ground and just lift our legs up. Let's just slowly move your legs out and around. And if you're moving it slowly, try to make it even slower. And let's reverse. And feet back to the mat. And now we're going to take the left leg over the right leg and do the same thing we just did on the opposite side. Okay, feet are flat. Hands intertwined and below the knee, under the thigh, and just pulling in. And again, like I said, I usually kind of press my elbow against the opposite thigh, just kind of to give that stretch a little bit more potency. Let's do 4 breaths here. A good time to think maybe a little bit more about your intention and the obstacles in your life. Which ones might need to be removed, which ones need to be challenged, which ones need to be completed so they're no longer an obstacle. And again, we're going to do like we did on the other side. We're going to drop the foot to the floor. And we're going to go to cactus pose with our opposite arm, and gaze is going to the left. We'll do 4 breaths here as well. Bring it right back up. And just bring both legs back flat onto the floor. And now we can extend the legs. We'll begin with the right leg. And we're just going to pull it into the chest. You can get a big kiss if you want. We're just going to hold that for, let's say, 3 breaths. Now we'll take this back to the ground and bring up our other leg again. If you like to raise the head, pulling the leg in, and we'll do 3 breaths here. Switch one time. Let's stretch that leg out. Let's stretch our arms above our head, our toes as long as we can. Just stretch, 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 stretch. Very active stretch. Oh, point those toes, get those fingers, stretch, stretch, stretch. And move the arms back down, and let's bring the knees back up. Let's go into our bridge pose. Now from here, we can, extend it a little bit further where you tuck under your shoulders and clasp your hands, just depending on what you kind of need for yourself. From here too, someone can go into the headstand, or shoulder stand, sorry, if that's something that you're feeling that you like to do right now. I'm kind of comfortable in this position. And even if this is too much for someone, just staying right here is fine. Or if you want to just slowly go down to pelvic tilts and come up. Just slow and intentional. Whatever feels best for you. So go ahead and go with your flow on this one. We'll stay here for another minute or so. Remembering your breath. Just checking in. And then from here, we can go to Savasana, which is a corpse pose, which you're going to extend out both of your legs. And your arms can be palms up for receiving, or you can even place on your abdominal area, on your chest, kind of whatever that feels right for you. So if this class was longer, obviously we would stay in this pose for a couple minutes, but because this is just a 30-minute class, I'll give you the option at the end to get back into this pose. So for right now, let's go ahead and we will lean to our lefts, and just on your own time, slowly come up to sitting. And get into whatever position that might be that's comfortable for you, just to finalize the class. So let's bring our arms up, rise, and then bring our hands to heart center. And I just want to thank everyone for coming to class today and showing up and allowing this to be a restorative time for you of self-care and self-love. Namaste.